This is Jet with Pop Austin Media, and I got singer Beyonce Sullivan, aka Beysul. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
All right, bet. In the building. How's life?
Life's good. Can't complain.
Just working?
I work, and then this as well. Work, music.
Well, I'm saying you working. Yeah, working out here. Yeah. I bet. Where you originally from? We'll start from the beginning.
I just moved here from Dallas about 3-4 years ago.
Represent. I'm from Dallas.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
What part of Dallas are you from?
Carrollton.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you the nice side.
Where are you from?
I kind of moved up at Oak Cliff,
Okay.
South Dallas, Garland, and just kind of moved up to McKinney eventually. It was kind of went all the way up. But for the most part, I mean, it's nice now. It ain't Arlington though.
Oh yeah, Arlington is nice. Yeah.
Cool. So how's childhood out there?
It was good. I grew up there. Had a lot of friends. Good supportive family. You know, I grew up there, and then actually my senior year is whenever I moved down here. So I finished that off over here in like Temple.
Wow. So you moved your senior year.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Did you play any sports throughout that time, or are you just not a sports? You just
No,
straight?
I was not a sports person. I was always in like musical, theater, just show choir.
Okay, so you was a singer straight
Yeah.
up. I get you. Okay. So, and how young were you when you got into doing the like theater, singing?
So I started singing when I was around 3-4, and then I was in choir for about 10 years, show choir, did all that stuff, competitions, all state. And then when I was around my sophomore, freshman year is when I started writing and then doing my own original music. And then my senior year, after I graduated high school, about 3 years ago, is when I actually stepped foot into a studio and started doing my own stuff professionally.
Oh, dope. Okay, so let me touch on a few things you said. So one, what inspired you? Like, is there any like specific artists that's like, man, I like what they're doing?
So when I was younger, I would listen to like Keisha Cole, Mary J. Blige and stuff, you know, classic R&B female artists. And then I've always liked them. And then right now my inspiration is like 070 Shake, Seb Deliza. So that's like currently.
All right, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like Kalani or any of those?
Oh, I do.
You like, yeah, that's
Jane
my
Icon.
favorite. Yeah, I love those two. Those are my favorite. R&B when done right is gold to me. It needs to come, but it's on a come up, I think. Back in the day, you know, you had a lot more of the groups and whatnot. So what made you move out here?
So
well, not you, but what made the family
it wasn't my
move?
choice. But
Of course
so my
not.
mother like passed away around my 2016.
I
So then
saw
that
that.
senior
I'm
year-
sorry to hear about
Yeah,
that.
no, thank you. So my senior year is whenever my dad, he applied, he got a job opportunity over here. So me and my brother, we came down here, and it was kind of like a fresh start, a new beginning. It really allowed myself to really get out of that headspace because I wasn't doing so well. Around that time in school, I actually dropped out for a bit. I tried doing online school, I didn't finish. And then so my senior year, I was actually able to pick myself back up again, finish my junior classes as well as doing my senior at the same time. So I was able to complete that, and then ever since then, I think that was the change that I needed, honestly, because I really don't think I would have been able to be where I am today, especially in music, because I always knew that this was something that I liked, but I was kind of lost. I didn't really have many opportunities. I didn't know where to start.
Out there, it's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Especially there's there's not a scene out there. And if there is a scene, it's that dancing back in the day, you know, jigging scene that they would call it. You already know what I'm talking about. God dang jigging scene. So, yeah, it's tough. To me, it's tough out there. Opposed to like in Austin, I would think.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
For sure, for me at least, looking at the two different spectrums.
mm-hmm.
How was it going to another, like, for your senior year?
It was honestly an easy transition. I was able to adapt really easily. I mean, I think that's one thing that I do and like, and I'm really proud of myself, is that I am able to adjust in my situation, even though like the situation doesn't really change. You know, my mindset, I was able to like keep going strong and just be like, you know, I'm just gonna take what I have right now and make the best of it.
Well, what lunch table did you sit at?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What lunch table did you sit at? I gotta ask. Like, what was the crew?
I sat in the choir room, not even the lunch table.
Oh, okay.
I would
The
always
lunch
be in the
room is
choir
where you
room.
define your crew at.
Yeah.
You can hang, but the lunch table, that's where you're like, okay, everybody, like, you're destined just to be with them fools for a semester or whatever the case may be. So you say you just eating in the choir?
I was just eating in the choir room.
Was it by yourself or with the other choir
Sometimes
kids?
by myself, but no, I wasn't like a loner. I had friends there. But
Okay, I was about to say, would you listen to like emo music? Like,
Just
oh
be in the corner,
no, I
like-
hate everybody.
Just
I'm playing with
writing every day.
you. That's funny. I just like to ask. It's always interesting to me to see who like what lunch table. So you said first studio session.
Yes.
Okay, so talk about what spawned that, like in that experience for you. Like, I remember you mentioned that.
Yeah, so I actually had a friend, and then they had a friend who actually did music. And so I was just like, hey, you know, like, this is something I like as well. Like, you have a studio, and it's up in San Marcos. So I was like, you know, let's try it out. And our first song, a lot of the stuff I wrote in the beginning was, like, really depressing. It was honestly just, like, getting all
music.
It was really just, like, to me to, like, it was like therapy almost. So I had to get all of that dark stuff out. I was just, like, darker, you know, I want all these a certain sound. And then once I was able to do that, then I felt like I can actually develop into the real artist, like who I want to be, who I'm like working towards right now. So it was a good experience. I mean, it's completely different because what I've been learning is just like all the choir stuff. It's more like tall vowels. We did sing in like 20 different languages. You know what I mean? I can't tell you what I was saying. I don't know.
You're saying some stuff like, wow, this is hilarious.
But I mean, it really is completely different. You know, everything you learned is kind of out the window. And it's like, okay, now you're making like music that's supposed to be on the radio. Like, can't do the same thing.
Oh yeah, it's definitely different. And like you said, you're getting to hear yourself recording. It's live. You mess up, you're like, oh god. Like your mind knows you're recording, so you gotta be perfect. It's just a lot of things that kind of go into factor on there. What's your favorite genre to do? Is it R&B?
I say R&B, but honestly, I can't really put what we're doing right now into a genre because like every time we go into the studio, if we have a different vibe, if I'm like in a different mood, we have something different. We can like go in with an idea and then it'll come out just completely different. And I'm really happy about that though because, you know, it's really, we have such a broad spectrum and we are not limiting ourselves.
Interesting.
But to answer the question, I'll just say R&B, just
R&B.
to simplify it.
Yeah, I get you though. You don't want to box yourself in, but there's always gonna be that one that you take the most akin to. And I like when you say Keisha Cole and all that. That's what I was like, R&B's got to be. But you never know, it could be pop. I see the song you did with Psycho Black. We'll get into a little later. Is more in the pop genre that y'all put. So that's why I was just wondering, like, what's your favorite? So one question I also like to ask all the ladies: being a woman in the industry, it's thirsty dudes. What do you like? How is it like being a woman in the industry with all these thirsty dudes and whatnot that, you know, maybe they could say, oh, well, we can do this show or whatever the case may be, but they have the different intentions that you already kind of know in the back of your mind, or you may not know at times.
I feel like I'm kind of good at picking up on that, on like that energy. So like at the end of the day, like if they do come with me like, hey, I have work, I have this and that, they're coming to me as an artist, I want to be professional and talk to them as so until they prove otherwise. So I'm gonna try to give everyone a chance.
So you got the radar starts going off, and you're like, oh, I get the detection starting to beep louder.
So I can
some don't have that, and they gotta learn, and they really get worked in the wrong way. Like, oh, that's what you want. Like, oh, I think a recent girl said that somebody pulled up, and right when she went to the studio, it was Miss Gold, I believe, started hugging on her right off the rip. Didn't even give it no time to waste. Like, God, dog. So then she Ubered. It was just a whole bad scene. So. Just interesting to see different takes. I talk about having your own producer, and he says he wears a lot of other different hats too.
Oh yeah, producer / manager / your best friend /
slash. We're gonna call him slash. He's the new Cordell Stewart. Talk about. Give him a shout out. What's his name?
Yeah, SK Beats 512.
Yeah, give my man a shout out. SK Beats 512, bet.
Magic man. He literally, I would not be here without him. Like everything we do, like it's literally a duo, the best duo you could find around so far, in my opinion.
He's the only one you rock with, no other producers.
I'm not saying I'm not open, but he really is my ride or die. Like literally, like we were just talking about this. I literally have no friends. He's the one person I know in my life who like will be there to the end till like I'm fucking dead.
How did y'all meet?
He met me on social media, so he found my stuff, and then that's whenever we started talking, and then we actually went to the studio, and then we were just kind of getting a feel for it. That was before he was actually hired there, so he was still like interning. He would go there all the time on his free time, and we actually met each other at like a low point in our lives. So that was like how we kind of bonded as well with music, and then just like coming to the fact like, hey, like we have a lot in common, and we're a really good team together. you know, we're gonna keep going and see how far we can take this.
Dope. Okay, I like that. And okay, South by just happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so I saw you did some stuff for South by, and then so talk about that. And did you do any like networking as well? Because I heard it was really big on networking this year, and I definitely saw that when I was out in the field.
Oh yeah, everyone talks about South by Southwest. It's like one of the biggest events like every single year. They have one for like videos too, right? Like all of that. So
we got all the whole 2 weeks is just packed with a bunch of stuff. It's the later half. Now there's music all throughout, but you know that last 3 to 4 days, that weekend is really, you know, when they start to really ramp it up. This year they pushed a lot towards the local artists, but I'm gonna stop talking. Talk about what you did.
So that was actually my first time going to South by Southwest. I actually performed for like a Rip the Mic during. So that was a fun experience. I really like how they're able to like get a bunch of artists together, because you don't really have those opportunities. You know, trying to do that yourself, it's really hard to actually get to an event that big. I was really good to network. I got an interview with like a radio show, and it was really good vibes. It was a lot of unreleased singles that I did, because the stuff I have out now, you know, like I said, we're developing with every song. So I performed 3 songs that are all unreleased, and I couldn't be happier with how it went.
I love it, and love it. Talk about Keep Up. Psycho Black. We just interviewed him. We got the interview dropping.
We love Psycho Black. Yeah. So that one, actually, I was really excited for that one, because like I said, I was doing more darker sounds, and I knew for this one, he actually inspired my sound to be more like poppy, funky, you know how he's really groovy. So that was like my mindset going into it. That's what I wanted to showcase as well. And like as soon as we made the beat, we called him. We were like, Psycho, like we need you. We want you to be on this track. So that was something kind of experimental that we were doing, but that's definitely something different, and that's what I always want to do, is just like keep pushing myself. And like I said, I don't limit myself. So at that time, you know, I was listening to his songs and then some more upbeat stuff, and I was like, you know, like I'm really inspired. We'll go into the studio, and he right off the bat, he made the beat in like what, 30 minutes?
Yeah, it usually takes me like 30, 50.
He's really quick with
work.
it. Yeah.
He's like, yeah, it's like 30 minutes, you know. It's like, you know.
That's usually how our best stuff is made, though. Like honestly, like we'll go in and I'm just
don't
like,
think too hard. Just
yeah, like we'll go through a couple sounds. Like literally, I guarantee you, like 30 minutes. He'll get the beat down. I'll get the lyrics, you know, real quick. We'll go in there and then bam, like.
It's amazing when you do that kind of both on the spot, how it can work that way.
She'll spend like 6 hours in the booth though.
Yeah, recording is a different story.
Recording is different, but like we'll make the beat and everything in like 30, and then we might go get some food, because it's like what, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning at that point.
Yeah, we'll spend late hours.
She'll spend like 6 hours in the booth, and then that's because she can't re-record. Yeah, she can't re-record. So I like to get all of her vocals in that night.
In the full session, she don't
whole
want to come in with the different. Because it can sound different. It can sound better. Like, oh, now I gotta redo this whole damn thing. Now,
if you're in that feeling, you just gotta stay in there. Like you gotta finish it until it's done.
Especially singing, totally different than rapping. You can kind of punch in, you can rap with it, and then now I'm in here. I can find the flow. Okay, yeah. So besides Psycho Black, what other artists? Actually, so how did y'all link?
So
I didn't already ask that.
Oh yeah, kind of. So yeah, we met on Instagram, and then he just hit me up, and he was like, "Oh, do you want to?" So first we actually hung out. So we just went to like Round Rock outlets. We hung out, and we're just like, okay, like he's not a creep.
Oh yeah, you had to make sure. Yeah, see, look at you, the radar.
There we go. And then he actually invited me to the studio, and we had some other artists. We actually had Jamal. He's another engineer that works there at Spitsheim. So he was there, and then some other artists I was able to meet. I don't know if you heard of them. Legacy, Cali, Psycho was there as well.
Yeah, I think I've heard a lot of. Oh no, Dookie.
Yeah. So
Dookie, yeah. That name sticks out. See, Dookie, man. Whatever he's doing, he did it right. I remember the name. Interesting, funny as hell. So what other artists are you listening to out here besides Dookie, man? And then Psycho. I just wanted to say Dookie, man.
Yeah, the whole
Don
Hawk.
We're gonna be doing something with him soon.
Yeah, we have a lot of good people, so talented. Like literally, because I told you before then, I went to that other studio, but like this was my first time being surrounded by like so much talent, so many like friendly people. And you know, a lot of times you think whenever you go into a room full of artists, they're gonna be like uptight or like kind of judge you. But no, they're so friendly, so like welcoming, and like right off the bat, you know, like they really did like my stuff, and they saw potential in me. So that was nice to really. I feel like I have a family.
I love it. And then who else besides another one? Get one more. Who's another artist? She looked at him.
No, there's literally so many.
Yeah. You ain't missing nobody out. Just if you can think one more.
Don Hawk, Akel.
Yeah, Don, J.
I heard of J Mill.
Dookie.
Man, I'm gonna feel so bad if I'm forgetting
I'm-
someone.
No, you're good. Yeah, we ain't we ain't leaving nobody
Dicer,
out.
We got Dicer.
Dicer.
Yeah, she did a feature for Dicer.
I think I even saw that too. I'm just interested, just want to see where the pulse is on everybody.
We got Demigod.
Demigod.
Yeah, Demigod's feature coming soon with Demigod. Demigod Eric, and then we just got a lot of people from Houston, people from just all over the place, people from Cali that are coming down here. Hopefully.
I'm biased. I'm more like for Austin.
Yeah,
I'm about like, we'll do Austin, right? But yeah, dope. I'm just curious. So what do you think about the Austin scene though? Since you're from Dallas, like I am.
I feel like it's definitely on the come up. I feel like personally, everyone talks about Houston and Dallas, but we actually have Malin. He's actually one of he is a videographer, and he's also like in the scene. He manages artists, and he's trying to also help build up Austin, make a name for us, because I feel like people know Austin like for like artistic reasons, but I feel like it's just not as big as like Dallas and Houston. So that's like he's trying to come up with events and stuff to try to bring spotlight on Austin.
And I think there is. Have you heard of? He goes by, was it Dan to the Real or Dan to the L? But I know him by Dan the Man.
He owns. Doesn't he own Trailer Park
Yeah,
Studios?
so he's doing huge things out here for that, especially especially like the music lab. Even though videos and stuff ain't being shot there all the time, but music lab being shut down, a lot of stuff there's that thing that's there. Trailer Park Studios. So.
I actually, we tried to do a music video there. And that's not going to come out, but we did go to their studio. We did go to the studio to use it.
It was
kind of a test run.
Oh, a test run.
Let's say that.
I like that though. Just you don't just rush it out just because you think it's good. So
just
you don't
like
hear
anything.
that a lot. Some people are just like, fuck it, we can just put it out, and you're like, well, hold on.
I mean, the first of anything, it's all an experience. So first of everything's not gonna be the best. Like it to be, but it was the best that it could be at the moment. But yeah, no one's gonna see that.
She said, "Nah." Were you gonna work with Dan the Man ever again? I mean.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at me spinning the narrative. I'm just gonna look.
No, that's so cool though that you're even able to like mention names like that, and we can all relate. That's how like social media is like a huge impact, because you could say these people and it'll be like, oh, some type of connection.
Exactly.
It's like a spider web.
Yeah, and especially like with the scene just buzzing out here. We're just trying to bring everybody together, and that's what matters. Your mom. What is the most important thing that like she's taught you? I hate to just bring that up, but I figured it's important to you. So just talk about everything that what's the most important thing she's taught you, and of course she's your mom. So
so I think the biggest thing that she's taught me is that so she actually got diagnosed with cancer, and it was so sudden. She got diagnosed with lung and stomach cancer, and then it spread to the bones, and it was already stage 4. So at that point, we can try to get, treatment, try to get her cured, but, it's kind of too late. So we only had a couple months with her after, they finally told us what was going on with her, because she was going to the doctors, every other weekend, trying to figure out what was wrong with her. So by then it was too late. But throughout all of that, like throughout chemo, treatments, she had always kept a strong face, like for us, for herself. Like she was just never letting her guard down. She was the type of person, she went through so much I don't even know, like my dad doesn't even know. She was such a secretive person, but like despite all of that, she really motivates me to just keep pushing forward. That's what I gotta keep doing, for me, for my family. We just gotta keep going, because life doesn't stop for anyone, and things can happen so quickly. You really don't know what can happen tomorrow. You can plan things out, but you just really gotta live it day by day.
Exactly. So she taught you, I guess it sounds base, but she taught you strength, basically. Like, I love that. That's
she was
great.
My number one supporter. Like, even when I was like younger, like 3 years old, 4 years old, kind of like gibberish, she'd just be like, "That's my baby," recording, singing me. I used to get so embarrassed. Like, I feel so bad now, because she'd be like, sing for me. My dad would get me like this plastic piano, and I'd be like playing stuff by ear, and all the time she would just want to record me, and I'd be like, no, like stop, you're embarrassing me. I still have a couple of those videos now, so looking back on it, it's like I'm really glad like she saw my potential and saw that I had a gift before I even and anyone else even knew, because people would overlook it. They're just like, yeah, my baby can sing. Everyone thinks a child can sing.
Everybody thinks their child is the best. Exactly. But she was documenting it too. She was a little ahead of her time as well. Look at that.
So that was really special for her. And then on her burial, I remember she told me, she was just like anything, if you can give me one thing when I pass away, like, can you just sing at my funeral? And so I sang Sam Smith, Lay Me Down. And I don't know how I was able to get through that. I think I was just so kind of like in a blur. But yeah, that's like song is super special to me, and like I link that with her.
I wouldn't be able to. I'd be like, Tim, back up. Somebody else come up here. God, dog. Oh man. Lighter note, upcoming projects.
Oh yeah, so we have a lot of singles on the back burner that we've been working on. That's the stuff that I've been working on last year. We have a lot of songs that aren't out yet because we're working on promo, but those are the ones that I have been showcasing this year. This year we're all about performing and actually trying to have more of those face-to-face connections. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were hiding last year.
No, I mean, she said, yeah, don't look over here. Look over this way. That's hilarious. Where can we find you at on social media first?
So my Instagram is Beyonce Sullivan, and then on all music platforms, it's Beysul, Beysul.
Just like right here.
Just like right there.
All one word?
All one word.
Yeah, let's get it. And then the same on the digital streaming platforms as well?
Yes.
Same thing?
Yes.
Beysul. I love it. I love what you're doing. We actually got you some merchandise.
Media stuff. Oh my gosh.
I didn't even look at the DACOM sizes. All right,
I'll make it work.
No, you good. I'll definitely gonna fit you for sure. I appreciate you coming through. Keep doing your thing. We're gonna be looking up for everything that you got coming up, and keep rooting for you. This is Jet. I'm with Pop Austin Media, and I'm signing out. Beysul. Let's get it.